All right, I want to start off by giving all praise, honor, and glory. Call halal, Allah, Yahweh, by Hashem, Yahweh, Shah, by Hashem, Rachah, Kodash, Barakatah. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who taught me this truth. Peace and salutations to the Akim around the four corners of the earth, pushing the truth with faith and sincerity, risking their lives and freedom to do so. Shalom to the Akwat and the Akim out there listening and learning. Lord will, this lesson is edifying. This is the brother Yahweh up out of the GMS Cleveland Church. Um, Fellow servant coming at you with another lesson. Out of this book, what the future looks like. I was gonna finish up on, I guess, the Internet of Things. It was a subtitle, the Internet of Things. But I want to start off with a scripture. This is the book of Revelations 13, verse 16. And he calls of all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads. Verse 17, and that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. So basically, that is going into, the mark of the beast, the RFID chip. You can't, you know, I mean, true enough, the wine that this Edomite has poisoned the whole earth with, his philosophies does play a part. But the mark of the beast is actually a physical device. That's why, like I said, when you go into the word in the Greek, I don't have internet on this phone. I have to use a hotspot, which I can't do right now. And this Bible app, this is my sword. I don't think it has a concordance. Well, it's lucky. It does have a concordance. It's right in my face. Let's see. It says, "And that no man might buy or sell save he that had the mark." Now, when you go into the mark, G548, now that's in the Greek, charagma. Charagma. Says, a stamp and printed mark, the mark branded upon horses, things carved, graven from the same, a scratch or etching that is stamped. So it's supposed to basically break down to an incision, a cut. And like I said, when you get, if you've ever seen them actually like give somebody that RFID chip, you know, it's an incision. They actually cut in the skin to push that into the flesh. So anyhow, this beast system is all going to be about technology. That's what they're breaking out with this 5G. And this 5G is going to be connected or allow you to connect to the cloud. You know what I mean? And you're going to have a lot of people that's going to be willing to accept that. So I'm going to go back, pick up where I left off. This was page 107. I'm going to start here. It says big tech companies are becoming increasingly powerful as a result of the personal data they collect and the direct access they have to billions of people and their vast incomes. Such power can be a force for good or has the potential to be used to exploit and manipulate. Governments and consumer groups around the world are wrestling with this issue today. For both individuals and companies, there's the risk that any connected device is a gateway for a hacker. Could a hacker take control of your home by hacking into your kettle? Could a government take control of another's power plant by hacking into one of the connected machines? The answer to both of these questions is yes. One of the earliest major cyber hacking stories was Stuxnet, Stuck, Stuck, Stucknet, Stucknex, Stucknet, STUX.net in 2010. A worm virus written to a very specifically targeted, very specific target, programmable logic controllers on the Iranian nuclear program's centrifuges. The virus caused the centrifuges to tear themselves apart and was reported to have ruined almost one-fifth of Iran's nuclear centrifuges. In 2015, a cyber attack in Ukraine temporarily cut the power to 80,000 consumers. Slovakia customers. These two attacks suggest that the future may also see warfare being played out across the internet, and the Internet of Things and cloud may become weaponized by hostile governments. Also in 2015, a group of hackers demonstrated taking control of a Jeep on the freeway, having hacked through the infotainment system. Since this benevolent hacking, the automotive industry has stepped up the efforts to protect connected vehicles from attack. The rise of the cyber attack to connected vehicles or homes to national infrastructure such as power or water or to key businesses remains very real. Commentators say that this will be one of the ways that future wars are fought. So cybersecurity is likely to be a headline topic for decades to come. Less dramatic is the question of coverage. A connection to the internet is an obvious requirement behind many of the applications of the Internet of Things, whether broadband, wireless, or cellular. Slovakia, I'm gonna continue. I went and did a search of the Internet of Things. Basically, I went and jumped on the hotspot, but I paused it so you guys wouldn't have to wait. Um, Anyhow, I know these terms, Internet of Things and the cloud, some people may not be familiar with. So I went and basically did a Google search of Internet of Things, and this is a definition. It says, well, Internet of Things refers to the concept of extending connectivity beyond conventional computing platforms such as personal computers and mobile devices and into any range of traditional dumb or non-internet enabled physical devices and everyday objects. Okay, this is a better. It should be a better explanation. This is by the magazine. Why? This is for all the tech gurus and techies. What is the internet? Well, that's a magazine catered towards those type of people. What is the Internet of Things? Wired explains. From hairbrushes to scales, consumer and industrial devices are having chips inserted into them to collect and communicate data. Smart toasters, connected rectal thermometers, and fitness collars for dogs are just some of the everyday dumb items being connected to the web as part of the Internet of Things. Connected machines and objects in factories offer the potential for a fourth industrial revolution, and experts predict more than half of new businesses will run on the IoT by 2020. Here's everything you need to know about the increasingly connected world. What is the Internet of Things? In the broadest sense, the term IoT encompasses everything connected to the internet, but it is increasingly being used to define objects that talk to each other. Simply, the Internet of Things is made up of devices from simple sensors to smartphones and wearables connected together. Matthew Evans, the IoT program head at Tech UK, says by combining these connected devices with automated systems, it is possible to gather information, analyze it, and create an action to help someone with a particular task or learn from a process. In reality, this ranges from smart mirrors to beacons in shops and beyond. It's about networks. It's about devices. It's about networks. It's about devices, and it's about data. Carolyn Gorski, the head of IoT at Digital Catapult, explains IoT allows devices on closed private internet connections to communicate with others, and the Internet of Things brings those networks together. It gives the opportunity for the devices to communicate not only within closed silos, but across different network types and create a much more connected world. So, meaning it won't be any privacy. Because who you think gonna have access and control over everything? Who you think is helping to bring a lot of this technology to a forefront? You know, it's coming out. I forgot where I was just reading that, but they were saying that Google, one of the heads of Google actually, like, supposed to had, I think it was in the Trumpopolis book, had ties with the government. As far as the military government or military complex. You know what I'm saying? So who you think funds a lot of this stuff? You know what I mean? Like, it's the truth, though. So I just wanted to bring out a brief explanation of that. Uh, then the cloud, because like I said, I was somewhat familiar with the Internet of Things and the cloud, but this is for those that don't have any idea what it is. Have no idea what that is. Cloud. Pop right up. Cloud computing. What is cloud computing? Everything you need to know now. Cloud computing, Slovakia. Cloud computing has become the ideal way to deliver enterprise applications and the preferred solution for companies extending their infrastructure or launching new innovations. Cloud computing has two meanings. The most common refers to running workloads remotely over the internet in a commercial provider's data center, also known as public cloud model. Popular public cloud offerings such as Amazon Web Services, Salesforce CRM systems, and Microsoft Azure all exemplify this familiar notion of cloud computing. Today, most businesses take a multi-cloud approach, which simply means they use more than one public cloud service. The second meaning of cloud computing describes how it works: a virtualized pool of resources, from raw compute power to application functionality, available on demand. When customers procure cloud services, the provider fulfills those requests using advanced automation rather than manual provisions. The key advantage is agility, ability to apply abstract compute, storage, and network resources to workloads as needed and tap into abundance of pre-built services. The public cloud lets customers gain new capabilities without investing in new hardware or software. Instead, they pay their cloud provider a subscription fee or pay for only the resources they use. Simply by filling in web forms, users can set up accounts and spin up virtual machines or provision new applications. More users or computing resources can be added on the fly. The latter in real time as workloads demand those resources thanks to features known as auto scaling. It says infrastructure as a service. At a basic level, public cloud providers offer storage and compute services on pay-per-use basis, but the full array of services offered by all major public cloud providers is staggeringly highly scalable databases, virtual private networks, big data analytics, developers tools, machine learning, application monitoring, and so on. Amazon Web Services was the first infrastructure as a service provider, remains the leader, followed by Microsoft, Google, and IBM. Well, I do know this because, like I said, I'm not a tech savvy person. I do know this. Just from listening to that, though, I do know this. Like, you can upload stuff to the cloud. Like, for instance, like when you, like on Yahoo, when you can go and save, uh, like, you ain't saving it to the actual hard drive. Like, say for instance, you're using a public a computer at a library, and you're not saving it to a SD card or anything. You're not saving it to the actual computer. You can you can save, like I know on my Yahoo, you can save to their storage device on Yahoo. You can't save. You only can save so much data, but you can save to, and it's like the cloud. So at the end of the day, this is all technology that's all gonna be incorporated in this Internet of Things and this, this 5G and this fourth, as like they said, the fourth industrial revolution. So I just figured I'd go into some definitions of things. I'm gonna stop here and then restart.